Hello from Rockhurst University again. Good to be with you, even if it is remotely. We miss you here on campus, but I am grateful for the opportunity to share some messages with you. Many of you continue to comment on the message and tell me how much you find them consoling and encouraging. You also remind me and share with me how oftentimes I split them up into 3 parts. And today is no different. In fact, this message comes to you from one of our own here on campus, Rocky Hawk. Rocky says that there are things that he thinks we should be concerned about, 3 things. I asked Rocky, so what are they? Rocky said, well, the first is making sure that during this time of quarantine that we are taking care of our bodies. So, okay, Rocky, so what does that mean? Well, Rocky said, well, in fact, that makes sure you are getting your proper rest, that you are, in fact, taking time to exercise, and that you are getting a good diet. In addition to taking care of one's body through exercise, rest, and proper diet, Rocky also recommends that we nourish our minds. So when I asked Rocky Hawk what does he mean by that, he says, well, it's important that we stimulate the mind. And how do you do that, Rocky? By keeping informed? Aha! Looks like Rocky is quite informed, as he's taking a look at the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and the Kansas City Star, all ways to keep us informed. One other thing, though, Rocky shared with me, and I think it's very good advice, that during this time of self-quarantine, and when we're keeping ourselves informed, to make sure we're doing that in the balance, especially as we're keeping ourselves informed by way of the web and the internet. Too much information, and information that sometimes is not always accurate, can in fact produce a lot of anxiety. So thanks, Rocky, for that suggestion about making sure that we take care of our bodies, that we continue in that good Jesuit fashion to make sure we're stretching that instrument, the mind, keeping ourselves informed, but doing both in the balance. And you said you had one other suggestion for me. All right, Rocky, I look forward to hearing that. Rocky, thanks for being with me and sharing your 3 things which you think we need to be focused upon during this quarantine. You would share that we need to take care of our bodies, and you share that we need to take care of our minds, doing both in the balance. And you have a 3rd suggestion, right? Which is, how do we care for the soul? How do we lift our spirits, right? So clearly one of the ways that we lift our spirits on campus here is by just taking a look around. Right behind us we see some of the tulips. I'm sorry you're not here on campus to experience the tulips every spring. We have 35,000 tulips here on campus. Why do we plant tulips? Well, Rocky, did you know that we plant tulips because Rockhurst University is on Troost, and Troost is named for the first physician who came to Kansas City, and he was from Holland. Hence, we plant tulips on Troost. So we celebrate the naming of the city of the first physician. So 35,000 tulips here on campus, sending you photos to lift your spirits, lifting your spirits and really nourishing the soul. We nourish our soul with those things that we see, as well as we can nourish our souls with our prayers to God for one another. I would ask that you, Rocky, as you suggested that we should take care of one's body, one's mind, one's soul, that would you be willing to send me your photos of what it is that lifts your spirits? What is it that feeds and nourishes your soul? Clearly, taking a look at things such as the tulips lifts one's soul, but how are you lifting your soul? How are you nourishing that soul during your time of self-quarantine? And of course, a great way to nourish one's soul is through prayer. And I find that the prayers that are especially nourishing for one's soul are the Psalms. And so I have one Psalm in particular in mind for you today. It's Psalm 30. Psalm 30 really speaks to the circumstances in which we find ourselves, Rocky, and the circumstances of moving from fear to trust, from confusion to certainty, and from mourning to joy. So pray with me these words of the Psalm that literally speak about how the tears are at night, the mourning is at night, but the joy comes in the morning. I will extol you, Lord, for you have raised me up and have not let my enemies rejoice over me. O Lord, my God, I cried to you for help, and you have healed me. O Lord, you have lifted up my soul from the grave, restored me to life from those who sink into the pit. Sing psalms to the Lord, you faithful ones. Give thanks to his holy name. His anger lasts a moment, his favor all through life. At night comes tears, but dawn brings joy. I said to myself in good fortune, I shall never be shaken. O Lord, your favor had set me like a mountain stronghold. Then you hid your face, and I was put to confusion. To you, O Lord, I cried. To my God, I appealed for mercy. What profit is my lifeblood, my going to the grave? Can dust give you thanks, or proclaim your faithfulness? Hear, O Lord, and have mercy on me. Be my helper, O Lord. You have changed my mourning into dancing. Removed my sackcloth and girded me with joy. So my soul sings psalms to you, and you will not be silent, O Lord my God. I will thank you forever. And I give thanks to you, my friends, my companions, part of this Rockhurst University community. Let us continue to lift up our community, our city, our nation, our world in prayer, and especially be mindful of all those on the front line, our first responders, all of those who are caring for us, all those health professions through this quarantine. Be well. Peace.